Today, we are going to do a deep dive into what is really a flagship battle in the world of premium audio. We're putting the reigning champ, the Sony WH-1000XM5, head-to-head with its brand new successor, the WH-1000XM6. And we've dug through all the tech reviews, the spec sheets, user feedback, everything. Sony is clearly building on, over 70 years of innovation here? But the big question we're trying to answer for you is pretty simple. Which one of these is actually the best for your wallet and your life right now?
That really is the mission, isn't it? Because, look, on paper, both are incredible headphones. It's just top tier. But Sony is marketing the XM6 as a quantum leap. And, we hear that phrase thrown around a lot. So we need to cut through that, find out where that leap actually happens and what it means for you when you're on a plane or just trying to focus.
Okay, so let's unpack this. I think we have to start right in the engine room with the hardware, the processor, and the microphones. Because really, that's the foundation for everything, especially noise cancellation.
It absolutely is. And the difference starts with the brain of the whole operation. The XM5 used the HD noise canceling processor QN1, which is great. But the XM6, it just completely changes the game with the new QN3 processor.
And the number that keeps jumping out at me is speed. The QN3 is supposedly 7 times faster than the QN1 and the XM5.
It's 7 times. And that's not just a spec sheet number, That changes the fundamental physics of how noise cancellation works. The QN1 was fast, but the QN3 is, it's pretty much instantaneous. It allows for this real-time, super fine-tuned optimization.
And that speed is what lets them build a bigger system around it. The XM5 has a really solid 8 microphone array, but with that much processing power, the XM6 can handle way more input. It jumps all the way up to 12 microphones.
Exactly, 12. And if the processor is the brain, then the mics are its senses. More mics mean a much clearer, more detailed picture of the noise around you. And that's where you really feel the upgrade in the environmental awareness.
Okay, so the XM5 has the Auto NC optimizer. It adjusts based on where you are, right?
It knows if you're in an office or on a busy street. It's smart.
But the XM6 version, the Adaptive NC Optimizer, you're saying it's more than just smart, it's intelligent.
It is. It's not just listening to the noise outside. It's monitoring air pressure like in a plane cabin, but it's also monitoring tiny physical things.
Right.
Think about what happens when you put on a pair of glasses.
Right. You get that little gap, the seal around the ear cup breaks for a second, and you hear that whoosh of outside noise coming in.
That's it, exactly. Or if you're wearing a hat, or even just move your jaw. Older systems, even the XM5 sometimes, they struggle to adjust to that change quickly.
So the XM6 is using those extra mics and all that speed to sense that broken seal and instantly recalibrate.
Instantly. So you never get that jarring interruption. It just creates this seamless bubble of silence. If you're someone who's moving around a lot, from a quiet office to a loud train platform, that's the quantum leap they're talking about. It just works.
Right, that makes sense. Let's shift gears to sound quality, and maybe even more important for a lot of people, called clarity. This is where it gets really interesting for the audiophiles out there.
Yeah, Sony's making a pretty bold claim with the XM6. They're saying it was co-engineered with world-renowned mastering engineers. That's a signal that they're aiming for, a true reference quality sound, not just a bass-boosted consumer sound.
And the hardware backs that up. The XM5 is a great dynamic driver. It's known for really nice high-frequency detail.
It is, but the XM6 moves to a driver with a lightweight carbon fiber dome. And that material choice is very deliberate. Carbon fiber is incredibly stiff, but it's also super light.
So less distortion when you push it.
Way less. When a driver flexes, it muddies the sound. The carbon fiber just doesn't. It stays rigid. So you get this incredibly clean, transparent, studio-quality sound. It's a noticeable step up in fidelity.
Okay, but amazing hardware is only as good as the data you feed it, which brings us to wireless transmission.
The XM6 supports high-resolution audio wireless using LDAC technology.
And we should probably explain what LDAC actually means for the listener.
Right. So basically, LDAC sends about 3 times more data than standard Bluetooth. We're talking up to 990 kilobits per second. That extra bandwidth means you're hearing all the tiny details in the music, the stuff that gets compressed and lost over a normal connection.
So if you're paying for a service like Tidal Hi-Fi or Apple Music Lossless, the XM6 is actually built to let you hear what you're paying for?
Precisely. The carbon fiber driver plus LDSC. That combo is what makes it a true audiophile-grade headphone.
Now let's switch to the other side of audio calls. This is a huge deal for professionals. The XM5 has 4 beamforming mics. They're good.
They're good. But the XM6 is on another level. It's all about the AI. They've jumped to a 6-microphone system, and it's all driven by an AI-based beam-forming algorithm.
So it's not just filtering noise, it's actively learning to tell the difference between my voice and, say, a train roaring past.
That's the idea. It's using machine learning that's been trained on thousands of different noise profiles to isolate your voice with just incredible accuracy.
So in that chaotic real-world scenario, wind, traffic, a crowded cafe, it's not going to cut off the first word of your sentence.
That's the problem it's designed to solve. The extra mics and the speed of the QN3 mean it can analyze and adapt before that happens. For anyone taking important calls on the go, the XM6 is a massive upgrade.
Okay, let's talk about the physical experience. Design, comfort, portability, the things that make you want to actually wear them all day. The XM5 has that sleek design with the soft leather, very comfortable, and it's collapsible.
Collapsible, yeah. The ear cups turn flat, which is good, but the case is still a bit bulky. The XM6 changes this. It moves from collapsible to a true foldable design. The whole thing just scrunches up much smaller.
So a more compact case. That's a big win for travelers.
A huge win. And they've tweaked the comfort too. The headband is a little wider, and it's asymmetrical to distribute the pressure better. They even officially list fitness and gaming as supported uses now, which suggests they're a bit more rugged and secure.
Okay, power. This is interesting. Both have a 30-hour battery life, which is fantastic. So it's a tie there. But the charging, this is where things get wild. The XM5 takes about 3.5 hours for a full charge. Pretty standard.
Right, and its quick charge is decent. 3 minutes gets you 3 hours of playback.
But the XM6, the spec sheet says its full charging time is just 3 minutes. Not for a boost, for a full 30 hours.
It's an astonishing claim. 3 minutes from 0 to 100%.
That's incredible, but there has to be a catch.
There is, and it's a big one. You only get that speed if you're using a specific type of charger, a USB PD compatible AC adapter.
So not the little white cube that came with your old phone. You need to buy a separate, more powerful wall adapter to actually get that benefit.
Exactly. You need to have a charger that supports USB power delivery, probably 30 watts or more.
Yeah.
The headphone has the capability, but you have to bring the power. It's a critical piece of fine print.
Very important detail. Okay, connectivity. Another huge point of difference. The XM5 has Bluetooth 5.2, and it has a 3.5 millimeter headphone jack.
It does. And the XM6 upgrades to Bluetooth 5.3 for better stability, but it makes a really bold, maybe controversial choice. It completely removes the 3.5 millimeter jack.
Wow, so they're going all in on wireless.
All in. For most people, maybe it doesn't matter. But if you're a musician or you fly on older planes, that could be a deal breaker. It forces you to choose between legacy support and the latest wireless tech.
Okay, so we've laid it all out. Let's connect this back to the decision. Value versus the cutting edge.
Let's start with the XM5. It's the proven choice. You're getting fantastic noise cancellation, the 8-mic system, and it has this amazing track record. Over 18,000 reviews, 4.2 stars. Plus, you keep that 3.5 millimeter jack, and most importantly, the price is much, much lower now.
So the XM5 is the smart, reliable buy. It's for someone who wants top-tier performance without paying that new product premium.
Exactly. The XM6, on the other hand, is an investment. You're paying more, but you're getting tangible upgrades. You get that 7x faster processor, the 12 microphones, and an incredible AI system for calls.
Plus, the audiophile grade sound from the carbon fiber driver, the super compact foldable design, and that potential for a 3-minute charge.
Right, and early reviews reflect that it's rating a little higher at 4.3 stars.
So, the final guide for our listener.
I'd say it's this. Choose the XM6 if your job depends on crystal clear calls, if you're a serious audiophile with high-res music, or if you're a constant traveler who needs that fast charging in small case.
And choose the XM5 if you absolutely need that headphone jack for your gear, or if you just want 95% of the performance at a, much more comfortable price.
That's it. Both are benchmark products.
Yeah.
You're getting the best in the category either way you go. It's just about which best fits your specific needs.
And that brings us to our final thought. By ditching the 3.5 millimeter jack, Sony is making a pretty loud statement with the XM6. They're saying the future is 100% wireless. But when you think about professional audio gear, mixing boards, in-flight entertainment, a lot of the world is still wired. So we want you to think about this. Is that one missing port, that tiny little hole, still the deciding factor that keeps a cutting-edge piece of tech from being truly universal in your life? It really makes you weigh how much you value innovation versus just practical compatibility.